Red light casts an ominous glow over the server room, the air thick with the hum of machinery and unspoken tension. On the monitor, the Orchid download crawls toward completion, each increment a step closer to an irreversible choice. Adrian stands paralyzed, caught in a silent battle between Mara and the relentless pull of the humming terminal. Lorraine's voice echoes in his mind. Choose, Adrian. Your mother, or her. Inside the server room, the air vibrates with the machine's relentless hum as Mara whispers, sweat glistening on her brow. Mara, eyes wide with urgency, pleads, "Don't listen." Lorraine's sardonic chuckle cuts through the tension, her amusement a sharp contrast to Mara's fear. The metallic click of another lock echoes, each sound amplifying the sense of entrapment. Lorraine's gaze intensifies, a predatory glint in her eyes as she dismisses Mara's efforts. "Mara, sweet girl. You still think you're holding the leash," Lorraine mocks. Tension fills the server room. Adrian's face is a conflicted mask, beads of sweat clinging to his brow. His hand trembles violently as he clutches Orchid, the weight of the decision pressing down on him. Lorraine's voice cuts through the air, a chilling ultimatum hanging heavy in the silence. "Hand Orchid to me, Adrian, and she lives," Lorraine demands, her words laced with menace. A dark threat underlies her command, painting a grim picture of Orchid's potential fate. "Keep it, and I'll make her kill herself, the way her father did," she finishes, the air growing colder. In the server room's tight confines, Mara advances, each step resonating in the humming silence. The air vibrates with the relentless hum of the servers, a mechanical symphony to their tense confrontation. Mara's voice cuts through the noise, accusingly. "You called my father the lesser evil. What are you paying with today?" Adrian stands silent, the unspoken tension hanging heavy between them amidst the blinking lights. In the server room's dim glow, Adrian ignores Lorraine's pleas and approaches the keyboard with grim resolve. His fingers fly across the keys, lines of code cascading down the screen as he bypasses security protocols. With a decisive movement, Adrian flips a system switch, the click echoing in the tense silence. The screen flares to life, displaying a stark warning in ominous red letters. Automated release armed. A sense of dread fills the room as the consequences of Adrian's actions begin to unfold. Adrian confronts the camera, his gaze intense as he stands within the sterile server room. A progress bar on the monitor reaches its peak, signaling a critical juncture. Tension fills the air. Adrian's voice cuts through the silence. "I learned from you. And from Mr. Vance's death." Mara's phone erupts with a flurry of alerts, shattering the calm with urgent news. The server room hums, a symphony of blinking lights and whirring fans in the dimly lit space. Cables twist like metallic snakes across the floor, a digital labyrinth where secrets are both kept and revealed. Static electricity dances in the air, an unseen force that adds to the room's palpable tension. Lorraine steps forward, her shadow stretching across the banks of servers, a predator closing in. Her voice drips with malice. "I won't kill you quickly, Mara. I'll make you a thief. No one believes you." Inside the server room, Adrian's movements are swift and precise, the hum of the machines filling the tense air. He yanks a small black drive from the terminal, a critical piece of data now in his grasp. Adrian shoves the drive into Mara's hand, a silent urgency passing between them. "Orchid, master copy," Adrian says, his voice low and urgent. "And another folder," he adds, emphasizing the importance of what he's entrusting to her. Inside the server room, Mara looks around, a deep sense of bewilderment etched across her face. Adrian moves with a determined urgency, his purpose clear amid the silent machines. Mara's confusion deepens as she begins to speak. "What?" Adrian's voice cuts through the sterile air, urgent and resolute. "Your father left a recording. He tried to protect you," Adrian reveals, his eyes filled with a fierce determination. In the heart of the server room, Adrian's face is a mask of grim determination. He shoves Mara towards the dark crawlspace, urging her into the unknown. "Go, Now, Adrian commands, his voice tight with urgency. Mara hesitates, her eyes searching his. And you? I'll keep her busy, Adrian replies, a promise and a silent farewell in his tone. The fate of both hangs in the balance, hidden in the stark contrast of light and shadow. Laughter echoes through the server room, bouncing off the blinking lights of endless machines. Lorraine's voice cuts through the electronic hum. How long do you think you can keep me busy? Adrian's eyes gleam with determination. Long enough, he retorts, a smirk playing on his lips. Adrian slams a panel shut, the metallic clang punctuating his words with finality. The servers blink faster, as if reacting to the charged exchange between Lorraine and Adrian. Mara, shaking, crawls out into the harsh light of the service level. She clutches a burner phone, her fingers flying across the screen. The stark surroundings amplify her vulnerability. A single, urgent command is sent. Activate. Mara's face reflects a mix of fear and grim resolve. In the sterile service level, Mara studies 2 drives: Orchid, Master, Promising Secrets, and Vance, Final, holding fateful choices. Her fingers hover over the options, tension building with each passing second. A decisive click echoes in the silence as she selects Vance, Final, sealing her path. The drive glows, a silent promise of revelations and consequences. Mara watches intently as the data loads, her expression a mix of anticipation and apprehension. The service level hums with cold sterility, bare conduits snaking across the low ceiling. Flickering lights cast long shadows, the only source of illumination in this utilitarian space. A thin, reedy voice echoes from hidden speakers, filling the empty space. If you're hearing this, I'm not here anymore. Father's voice, a ghostly echo in the sterile air. Lorraine Caldwell offered me a deal, my silence for your safety. I refused, the voice reveals, tinged with defiance. A beep pierces the silence of the service level, its echo amplifying the tension. Adrian hesitates, his voice strained. Mr. Vance, I can't. I'm not allowed. My father's voice rises, a sharp challenge. Who doesn't allow it? Adrian's reply is barely a whisper, filled with conflict. My mother. The air vibrates with the sterile hum of unseen machinery, a symphony of cold efficiency. Fluorescent lights blaze down on the utilitarian service level, revealing every flaw. If I die, my daughter will never forgive you, Father says, his voice echoing in the stark space. Adrian responds, his face unreadable. I know. In the service level, the hum of servers fills the air as Father pauses, lost in memories. His eyes grow distant, reflecting scenes from a time long past, shrouded in mystery. He speaks, his voice low and resonant against the mechanical drone. Adrian didn't build the trap. He was the lock she held, Father reveals, a hint of sorrow in his eyes. But locks can open, if someone forces them to choose, he concludes, the weight of his words hanging heavy. In the service level, Mara clutches the drive, her knuckles white, a storm of conflicting emotions brewing within her. With precision, she releases Orchid, a silent act of liberation amidst the sterile environment. Suddenly, the area floods with reporters and investigators, their voices rising in a chaotic crescendo. The air crackles with flashing lights, illuminating a scene of intense scrutiny and public reckoning. News of Caldwell's collapse spreads like wildfire, its stock price plummeting to unprecedented lows. Panic grips the market as whispers turn to shouts, the CFO's sudden disappearance adding fuel to the flames. Across screens, Lorraine's name surfaces amidst a storm of speculation and rumor. Her face is splashed across news outlets, each headline more damning than the last. The digital world buzzes with theories as Lorraine becomes the focal point of Caldwell's downfall. Lorraine smiles, flawless in black under the bright television studio lights. Studio lights gleam in her perfectly styled hair as she addresses the camera. Her expression is confident, polished, and assured. With unwavering conviction, Lorraine declares, Mara Vance is a con artist trying to extort my family. In the bustling television studio, Lorraine's silence confirms her involvement with Orchid. A sudden, shocking twist as Lorraine poisons Mara, her betrayal swift and deadly. Chaos erupts in the studio as Mara collapses, the air thick with disbelief and horror. Amidst the pandemonium, Adrian vanishes, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions. The digital clock flashes 2:17 a.m. in Mara's darkened apartment, a stark indicator of the late hour and impending danger. On the kitchen counter, a burner phone glows ominously, cutting through the shadows with its urgent message. The screen displays a chilling warning, a beacon of dread in the silent apartment. "Don't trust anyone in Caldwell. Not even me," the text reads, its words a haunting echo in the stillness. Mara's brow furrows in concentration as she confronts the labyrinthine code of Orchid Master on her screen. Her fingers dance across the keyboard, navigating the digital depths with practiced ease. A hidden file surfaces from the digital undergrowth, a silent revelation in the sterile glow of the monitor. A voice whispers from the ether, "Contingency, higher." Mara's heels click a frantic rhythm on the hardwood as she paces, a storm brewing behind her furrowed brow. Maps and financial statements are scattered across the table, pieces of a deadly puzzle. Photos are spread out like a morbid mosaic, each one a silent witness to a dark conspiracy. A succession plan, the narration reveals, a chilling blueprint for power and sacrifice. Necessary sacrifice echoes in the air, a grim term for wiping away the inconvenient truth. Dim light spills from a laptop in Mara's apartment, casting long shadows across the room. The laptop screen glows, revealing a redacted name, a secret identity obscured from view. Intrigue deepens as user assesses flashes on the screen, followed by the name A. Caldwell. The log file hints at hidden connections, each line a breadcrumb in a digital trail. The air crackles with unspoken tension, each keystroke echoing in the silent apartment. Secrets lie hidden beneath layers of code, waiting to be uncovered in the digital darkness. Inside Mara's apartment, a chilling premonition hangs heavy in the air. Words linger, casting a shadow over the otherwise normal setting. Naratian's voice echoes, a directive veiled as simple instruction. If Adrian betrays, activate Mara. A secret, dangerous, and now spoken aloud. Mara's eyes scan the scattered documents, her face paling as the cold reality begins to dawn. The weight of the truth crashes over her, each document a piece of a shattered mirror reflecting her past. Her voice trembles as she confronts the cruel revelation. "I wasn't just a victim." Mara clenches her fists, a wave of realization washing over her. "I was a contingency." Her breath hitches, the scattered papers mocking her with their silent, undeniable truth. The piercing ring of a phone cuts through the quiet apartment, shattering the calm. Mara's eyes dart to the screen, an unknown number flashes ominously. A beat of hesitation hangs in the air as she considers the call. The apartment seems to shrink around her, the silence amplifying her unease. A strained voice bursts through the speaker. "Mara, disappear, now." Panic flares in her eyes, the urgency of the message chilling her to the bone. Mara stands alone in her dimly lit apartment, shadows stretching across the walls, mirroring the worry etched on her face. Her voice trembles as she speaks into the silence, a desperate plea hanging in the air. "Where are you?" Adrian's disembodied voice crackles through the phone, distant and strained. "Doesn't matter," he warns, his words laced with urgency. A chilling realization dawns as he continues, a grim prediction echoing in the shadows. "She'll use you to pull me out." Mara's eyes widen with fear, the weight of Adrian's words sinking in as she faces an unseen threat. In her apartment, Mara stands firm, her unwavering gaze piercing through the silence. "You're running," Mara declares, her voice resolute, challenging the unseen opponent. "I'm cutting the string," she asserts, severing ties with a past filled with danger. Mara warns with grim determination. "If I die, she'll blame you, the crazy assistant." Silence blankets Mara's apartment, heavy with unspoken tension. Adrian's voice echoes, cutting through the stillness with a chilling command. "Meet me," he demands, his words hanging in the air like a threat. "Record everything." "No masks," Adrian warns, a dangerous game about to begin. Flickering lights paint the abandoned parking structure with long, distorted shadows. Cracked asphalt stretches into the darkness, the silence broken only by the hum of failing lights. Mara stands alone, a figure of anticipation amidst the desolation. Adrian enters, his eyes wide and darting, a hunted animal seeking escape. His every movement betrays a deep-seated fear, a desperate search for unseen threats. The air crackles with unspoken tension as Adrian scans the shadows, his anxiety palpable. In the desolate parking structure, dust motes swirl in the dim light. As Mara confronts him, her expression veiled. He avoids her gaze, guilt etched on his face, a silent admission hanging in the stale air. "I read HEIR. You plan to inherit?" Mara's voice cuts through the silence, sharp and accusatory. He offers no defense, his silence confirming her suspicions, the weight of his unspoken intentions palpable. In the desolate expanse of the abandoned parking structure, Adrian sets his phone on a dusty car hood. His finger taps the record button, capturing the silence. A deep breath, and then, "Record. I'll tell you everything." His words echo in the empty space, promising revelations. Amidst the skeletal remains of concrete, Adrian stands hunched, the city's roar a constant, oppressive hum. His eyes dart nervously, scanning the shadows, a desperate hope for Lorraine to materialize before him. A haunted whisper escapes his lips. It was years under Lorraine's control. His voice cracks with a dark confession. "She taught me power with other people's blood." In the echoing expanse of the abandoned parking structure, Adrian's voice reverberates, heavy with regret. He recounts the chilling grip of fear that drove him to betray everything, his words painting a dark picture. His voice cracks as he confesses how my father's death left him hollowed, a mere ghost of his former self. The concrete pillars stand as silent witnesses to Adrian's haunting confession, the scene heavy with despair. Echoes of the past linger in the air, each word a painful reminder of what was lost in the desolate space. In the abandoned parking structure, weak sunlight illuminates swirling dust motes, highlighting the pervasive decay. The heavy air is thick with the scent of neglect as Adrian stands firm, his gaze resolute. His eyes reflect steely determination as he prepares to face the consequences of his choice. "I'll go public. I need you as witness that I chose truth," Adrian declares, his voice echoing in the emptiness. Engines roar, breaking the silence as 3 cars approach the abandoned parking structure. Headlights slice through the inky blackness, painting stark shadows on the weathered concrete. The structure looms, a silent witness to the unfolding drama. Anticipation hangs heavy in the air as the vehicles converge. In the desolate parking structure, Adrian's eyes reflect stark terror as he urgently pulls Mara down. Their movements stir up clouds of dust and debris, a chaotic dance in the dim light. Adrian's grip tightens on Mara's arm, his face a mask of desperation and fear. The air hangs heavy with unspoken dread as they huddle together, hidden from sight. His voice, a strained whisper, breaks the silence. "She found us." Mara's wide eyes mirror Adrian's fear as the reality of their pursuer sinks in. Lorraine, in delicate lace gloves, steps into the desolate, abandoned parking structure. The CFO walks beside Lorraine, a strange, fixed smile plastered across his face. The starkness of the abandoned parking structure highlights their contrasting appearances. A silent tension fills the open space, hinting at secrets hidden beneath the surface. Sunlight cuts through the grimy concrete of the abandoned parking structure, illuminating drifting dust motes. The heavy air is thick, with the smell of decay and long-term neglect. Lorraine's resolute voice echoes in the emptiness. "Mara, you helped me flush out traitors." Her words hang in the air, a stark declaration in the desolate space. Sunlight barely pierces the gloom of the abandoned parking structure, illuminating dust and decay. Mara and Lorraine face each other, their figures stark against the crumbling concrete. The air vibrates with unspoken accusations, a heavy silence hanging between them. Mara's voice cuts through the quiet, raw with betrayal. "You used me." Lorraine's gaze is unwavering, her expression unreadable as she confronts Mara. A chilling admission hangs in the air as Lorraine responds with stark honesty. "Of course." Adrian stands alone in the echoing, abandoned parking structure, a stark silhouette against the fading light. He raises his phone, the screen illuminating his face with a cold, electronic glow. A nervous anticipation flickers in his eyes as he prepares to document the unfolding events. His voice cracks slightly as he announces, "I'm recording." The silence of the structure amplifies the gravity of his simple declaration. Under the stark sky above the abandoned parking structure, Lorraine's lips curve slightly, a faint smile playing on them. Amusement dances in her eyes, a silent acknowledgement of unseen games. Her gaze sharpens, a hint of steel beneath the surface. "Audio doesn't kill, my son," she says, her voice a low, steady hum in the echoing space. "It only makes people busy," she adds, the words hanging in the air like a whispered promise. Under the open sky, the CFO steps forward, determination etched on his face. In his grasp, a stun gun gleams, a silent promise of force. A menacing glint lights his eyes. The abandoned parking structure becomes a silent battleground. Beneath the open sky, Adrian scans the deserted parking structure, his sharp eyes missing nothing in the dim light. Tension hangs heavy, the silence amplifying the distant hum of the city. A stark contrast to the immediate threat. His face is etched with concern, every muscle tense as he gauges the unseen danger lurking in the shadows. A bead of sweat trickles down his temple, a silent acknowledgement of the perilous situation they are in. "When I say run, run," Adrian commands, his voice a low, urgent whisper that slices through the oppressive quiet. His hand instinctively reaches for something hidden, a final preparation for the desperate flight about to begin. Darkness clings to the corners of the abandoned parking structure. Adrian emerges, stepping out of shadow and into a beam of stark light. His face is a mask of resolve, hardened by past betrayals. A long silence stretches, filled only with the echoes of the empty structure. Adrian's voice cuts through the stillness, firm and unwavering. "This time I'm not signing." The light catches the defiance in his eyes, a challenge thrown into the void. In the desolate parking structure, Adrian's hand slams on the speaker, the sound echoing in the cold, empty space. A raw, unfiltered confession fills the air, the stark words cutting through the silence. The name Orchid rings out, a haunting echo in the concrete expanse. Then, Lorraine, a name heavy with emotion, follows, intensifying the atmosphere. A litany of threats spills forth, each word a dark promise hanging ominously in the air. In the desolate expanse of the abandoned parking structure, Lorraine's composure begins to crumble, her expression faltering. A visible crack appears in her facade, hinting at the turmoil beneath. Her lips part, and she whispers a name with a mix of longing and despair. "Adrian." The name hangs in the air, unanswered, echoing the emptiness around her. Adrian's voice cuts through the silence of the abandoned parking structure, echoing off the bare concrete. Dust motes swirl in the faint sunlight, illuminating the desolation. The air hangs heavy with unspoken accusations, a palpable tension filling the space. "This is what you did," Adrian declares, his words a hammer blow in the echoing emptiness. In the desolate parking structure, Lorraine's smile returns, sharp and knowing, cutting through the silence. Her eyes gleam with a cold confidence as she breaks the tension. "I correct mistakes," she declares, her voice echoing in the empty space. With a subtle gesture, she commands attention, a silent promise of swift action hanging in the air. The dim light catches the edge of her smile as she gestures, a silent threat. Her gesture speaks volumes, a chilling declaration of intent in the stark, echoing space. In the desolate parking structure, the CFO explodes forward, his movements betraying a hidden predatory intensity. Reacting instantly, Adrian shoves Mara back, his face a mask of fierce determination and protective urgency. The sudden shove creates a desperate gap, a fragile space between safety and immediate threat. Adrian's command slices through the tense air. "Run!" Mara stumbles, her eyes wide with terror as she scrambles to obey, the CFO closing in relentlessly. Mara runs, her breath ragged, her lungs burning with each desperate stride. She stumbles onto the main road, the harsh glare of headlights cutting through the darkness. Frantically, she flags down a passing truck, her face a mask of desperation and fear. Her voice is hoarse as she screams for the police, the sound swallowed by the night. Under the stark, distant lights of the parking structure, a figure plummets from view. The night is suddenly pierced by a sharp, echoing gunshot. Silence descends, heavy and absolute, broken only by the hum of electricity. The parking structure stands as a cold concrete monument to the unseen tragedy. Shadows stretch and distort, obscuring the grim reality of what has occurred. The air crackles with unspoken fear, the aftermath of a single devastating act. The second wave crashes, its force amplified, pressing down on every facet of existence. Visions of Orchid haunt the mind, an inescapable echo reverberating through the day. The past recordings play, each note a haunting reminder of what was and what is lost. Threats, unseen yet palpable, seep into every corner, poisoning the air with dread. Everywhere, the weight of impending doom looms, casting a long, dark shadow. Police officers move with grim determination, their presence a stark declaration of authority. Regulators advance, faces set with purpose, signaling the start of a meticulous dismantling. Digital displays flicker ominously, assets freezing, accounts locking down in rapid succession. Caldwell Industries, a titan of industry, begins its dramatic fall under the weight of scrutiny. The scene unfolds as a whirlwind of activity, a financial autopsy revealing the cause of death. Sunlight bathes the airport as Lorraine stands near a sleek private jet, its polished surface reflecting the promise of escape. Two uniformed officers stride purposefully towards her, their stern expressions a stark contrast to the bright open space. The officers move with swift precision, flanking Lorraine, effectively sealing off her path. The gleaming jet looms behind her, now a symbol of thwarted hope rather than freedom. Lorraine's eyes dart between the officers, a flicker of defiance mixing with resignation. The air crackles with unspoken tension as the officers close in, their presence a wall against the sunlight. At the border, a stern CFO faces grim customs officers. Tension hangs heavy as the CFO is stopped, suspicion clouding the air. Documents are seized, each page a potential piece of incriminating evidence. Sharp questions are fired, cutting through the CFO's composed facade. Every glance, every gesture, scrutinized under the unforgiving sun. The border crossing becomes a stage for a high-stakes confrontation. In the sterile light of a hospital room, Adrian lives, but something vital has been irrevocably lost. The bullet failed to take his life, yet succeeded in stripping away the final layer of self-deception. His eyes, once shadowed by carefully constructed lies, now stare blankly at the ceiling. The stark reality of his existence is laid bare in the aftermath, devoid of any romanticism. Each breath is a testament to survival, but also a haunting reminder of the illusions he once cherished. Adrian's survival is not a victory, but a brutal awakening in the harsh light of day. A sterile hospital room greets Mara, the air thick with antiseptic. The scene is quiet, expectant. Liam lies still in the hospital bed, pale against the crisp white sheets, a fragile figure. He appears human now, the monstrous visage of the past week erased, leaving only a hint of what was. His face, though pale, holds a peaceful serenity, a stark contrast to the horror Mara witnessed. The room is filled with unspoken words and lingering memories, a testament to the battle fought and survived. A sterile hospital room, the scent of antiseptic heavy in the air. A lone figure sits hunched in a chair, shrouded in shadow, the silence broken only by the faint hum of machines. Adrian's voice, a low murmur. "I didn't think you'd come." The room holds its breath, awaiting a response. In the stark hospital room, Mara approaches the bedside, her face a mask of unreadable emotions. The sterile white sheets offer a cold contrast to the weight of her purpose. She sets a testimony form down, the paper crisp against the silence. Her voice, steady yet laced, with an undercurrent of resolve, breaks the quiet. "I came to finish it," Mara declares, her words hanging heavy in the air. The room holds its breath, awaiting the next act in a drama of unspoken truths. In the sterile hospital room, Mara sits vigil, her gaze fixed on the figure in the bed. Her eyes burn with fierce resolve, reflecting a silent promise of justice and truth. Mara leans closer, her voice a low, urgent plea cutting through the sterile quiet. "You'll say it publicly," she insists, driven by the need to protect others, so no one else gets suicided. In the sterile hospital room, Adrian's gaze is fixed, unreadable. His hands move, signing with a newfound intensity. A decisive shift in his action, purposeful, not routine. Each gesture now carries a weight of defiance. The machine's hum fills the air, a stark contrast to Adrian's silent rebellion. He signs, not to comply, but to shatter the rigid order. Inside the courtroom, the air buzzes with anticipation as myth transforms into immutable record. The gavel falls, echoing through the silent chamber as the narrator declares, "Lorraine is convicted." A somber weight settles as the consequences unfold. The CFO is sentenced. Justice is served, sealing fates and marking the end of a chapter in somber finality. The courtroom air is thick with tension, a sterile scent mingling with unspoken anxieties as Caldwell Industries awaits. Representatives from Caldwell sit, their faces a tableau of relief and resignation, the weight of the verdict heavy in the air. Scarred individuals fill the gallery, a mosaic of physical and emotional wounds, finally receiving compensation. A fragile sense of closure settles, permeating the courtroom as paperwork is finalized, marking the end of a long battle. Outside the courthouse, a crowd gathers, their expressions a mixture of hope and apprehension. The air crackles with anticipation as people await the verdict, the weight of justice heavy in the air. A reporter pushes through the throng, microphone in hand, eager to capture the raw emotion of the moment. The courthouse doors swing open, revealing a figure emerging into the daylight. The reporter's voice cuts through the noise. "Do you feel justice?" All eyes turn to the figure, their faces etched with a mixture of hope, fear, and expectation. Sunlight bathes the courthouse in a golden glow, highlighting its imposing stone facade. Mara stands before the courthouse, her figure a silhouette against the radiant backdrop. Her expression is resolute, conviction etched into every line of her face. Mara's voice rings out, clear and unwavering in the open air, a beacon of hope. "Justice isn't victory, it's fewer graves," Mara declares, her words echoing with profound meaning. Under the cloak of night, a lone figure approaches a somber cemetery, the silence broken only by the rustling of leaves. Mara walks among the tombstones, their shadows stretching long and distorted under the pale moonlight. She pauses before a weathered grave, the inscription barely visible in the dim light. The stillness of the graveyard amplifies her solitude, a stark contrast to the world beyond its gates. A deep breath, and Mara begins to speak, her voice a soft whisper in the vast expanse of the night. In the solemn expanse of the cemetery, Mara stands before a weathered headstone, its inscription faded by time and sorrow. With a resolute motion, she removes her old, executive assistant badge, a symbol of a life now discarded. The metal of the badge glints under the somber sky, a final, fleeting reflection of a past life. A sharp snap echoes in the quiet cemetery as she breaks the badge, severing ties with her former self. Two broken pieces now rest upon the cold stone, a silent testament to change and closure. Mara's face, etched with newfound resolve, reflects the weight of her decision and the promise of a future. Ancient tombstones cast long shadows in the cemetery, the air thick with the scent of damp earth and fading flowers. The wind whispers through the weeping willows, a mournful sigh echoing through the silent stones. Framed by the fading light, Mara stands amidst the graves, her figure a solitary silhouette. A quiet strength in her voice, she declares, "I don't need a mask anymore." Beneath the solemn expanse of the cemetery, Mara begins to walk, her silhouette a stark contrast against the weathered tombstones. Each step away from the burial ground seems to lighten her burden, a physical manifestation of emotional release. The air around her, once heavy with grief, now feels breathable, almost liberating, as she distances herself. Her shoulders relax, the tension of mourning slowly ebbing away with each stride. The vast sky above seems to open up, mirroring the expanding possibilities now visible on her horizon. Mara's determined walk signifies not just a departure from a place, but a turning point towards healing and renewal. In her apartment, Mara stares out at the city lights, a canvas of blurred colors reflecting her inner turmoil. Her face is a study in exhaustion and deep thought, the day's burdens weighing heavily on her. Lost in contemplation, she replays the events, each decision a step etched deeper into her weary expression. The weight of her choices seems almost palpable, pressing down on her shoulders as the night deepens. In her apartment, Mara frantically deletes files on her laptop, her movements driven by a palpable anxiety. Her fingers dance across the screens of her phone and tablet, erasing emails and documents with desperate speed. She is removing every trace of her connection to Caldwell Industries, leaving no digital footprint behind. The glow from the screens casts an eerie light on Mara's face, highlighting her growing fear. Each swipe and tap is a step further into the unknown as she tries to disappear from the digital world. Dawn breaks over the city, painting the sky with hues of hope. Mara steps into the golden sunrise, a silhouette against the awakening world. Each step forward is a release, shadows of the past fading behind her. The city awakens with her, a symphony of new beginnings echoing in the air. A gentle smile graces Mara's lips, reflecting the promise of the new day. The rising sun casts a long shadow, a symbol of the journey now embraced.